Hi, Thomas from Field Tennis. The last 3 forehands that I hit were all in my ideal strike zone. And what this ideal strike zone gives me, it gives me the most effortless power and the best control. If I don't get the ball in my ideal strike zone, then I can't get good power and I don't get such good control because I need to improvise my stroke a little bit. So here's an example. If I get a high ball, then I'm not hitting in my ideal strike zone. Or if I get a ball, perhaps I get a ball low and away from me, that's not in my ideal strike zone. Or if I get a ball too close to me, that's again not my ideal strike zone, and my stroke cannot function the best. And in today's lesson I want to show you how to find this strike zone and why it's so important. Here's an easy way to tell where you have power. You can just go against the fence and you can press with your hand against the fence or against the wall, and then try to feel the difference between how strong you are here or how strong you are here. And you will feel the difference. Or how strong are you here? Or especially when you have to lean away, how strong are you here? How strong are you here? Here you might be strong, but it will not be a nice swing, which I will show in a minute. So just to demonstrate to you and that you can feel on your own, what does it mean ideal strike zone and why do we have the most power there? It's just the way our body is built. So you can just try how you can generate power. You can try the same like on your backhand side. So here I press in the wall, I feel this strong. Then I go here, I feel not very strong. Or if I go away and I lean, I don't feel very strong. So that's how our body is built, and we will feel the most power in our ideal strike zone. So somewhere here, we usually say between the knees and the shoulders. So somewhere here, but you can be even more precise and say it's around my hip height. So somewhere here is the position for the body where we can create the most leverage and therefore the most power. Another way we can find our ideal strike zone is when we just swing the arm. So I'll just demonstrate a little bit. I'll just swing my arm in the most comfortable way, as if I was throwing something with an underhand throw, or like feeling like I'm bowling. So if I just swing my arm in the most comfortable way, and then I see at what height that happens, that will be my ideal strike zone. So I don't have to alter my swing. I just go with gravity and I just swing my arm. This is my forehand side. I can do on the backhand side. So I just swing my arm in the most comfortable way, and then I see, oh, this is the height. So if I want to change my swing and I say, okay, I hit a high ball, you can try and swing your arm and you will see that it's a bit less comfortable to swing here than to swing here. And so because this is the most comfortable height or position to swing, that's why my stroke will have the most effortless power. So again, if I just swing my arm comfortably, then okay, it's going to swing here. I can try a high backhand and you will see it's not very comfortable. So that's why we don't have power when we have a high backhand. And so don't even try to hit high backhands with power. Just try to hit them back and try to position next time, or wait for the next ball that comes in your ideal strike zone, and then that ball you can hit with power. So again, you can also try like to swing very low, and you will feel that like your body is not so comfortable, and especially if you swing away. So these are just little exercises that will help you really understand why do we want to hit the ball here. It's because our body is built the way it's built, and if we swing, which is what we want when we hit forehands or backhands, we don't want to just mechanically execute them. We want to swing our arm too. And when we naturally swing our arm, then we see at what height that naturally happens. So if I get the ball at this height, then I will have the most power and the most control. The reason why I will also have the most control is because in practice, in reality, when I play, I will hit the most balls at around this height. So this is my most grooved swing. I've hit this forehand the most times in my life. I haven't hit this forehand or this forehand as many times. Therefore, this forehand at this height, at this distance, is the most grooved forehand. So if I get in a position where I can hit this forehand, then I have the highest chance of making the ball go in. So what are some of the reasons why you might not be hitting the ball in your strike zone? The first one is that you might not know about it. And if you don't know about it, then it means that you also don't feel the difference between hitting the ball outside of your strike zone or inside your strike zone. So when you're not hitting in your strike zone, then the ball is like this, and you say, well, this is good enough, I reached the ball. So if your goal in your mind is just the ball is coming towards me and I need to reach it, then your mind will calculate the minimum amount of effort required to do that. So if you just think I need to reach the ball, then this is what will happen again. So I'm here, I'm just thinking I need to reach the ball. Okay, I got it. I reached the ball, and you think, well, that's good enough, I played over, and maybe something's not right with my forehand. I need to work on my forehand. But that's not the case. You were off balance and you were not hitting in your strike zone, and your body cannot generate good effortless power outside of your strike zone. And so when the ball comes next time, if you get in a position and you hit the ball in your strike zone, then you will get very nice effortless power. And so the reason, for example, why I play in my strike zone as much as I can is because I can hit a better shot. I can hit a better shot and I can hit a more effortless shot. So when the ball is coming, I try to position myself in a good position, in a balanced position. I get to the ball, I hit the ball in my strike zone, and I'm going to hit a good shot. The second reason why you might not be hitting the ball in your strike zone, so again it looks something like this, it looks like this, is because you want to conserve energy. So I will not use the word lazy. Oops, I just used it. So you want to conserve energy and you say, well, this is good enough, I can hit the ball, I don't want to suffer too much, so I got it, and you want to conserve energy. Now that's eventually your choice, but I just want to give you one message, and the message is that if you want to hit good shots, you have to pay the price for them. You cannot have good shots for nothing. And in tennis, we pay the price with effort and footwork. That's how we pay the price. We don't pay the price with the arm work, we pay the price with the footwork. The legs work, the legs suffer, so that the arm can move very comfortably. So when the ball is coming, I have to pay the price with my feet. I have to get to the ball, I need to balance myself, I need to use my muscle to stop myself from moving. I cannot fall off the stroke, so I need to get here, I need to stop, I need to position, I need to push off, and this is the price I have to pay for a good shot. And if I hit a good shot, first I will prevent attacks from my opponent, and secondly I might force mistakes or hit some winners. So this is the message I want to send you, that you understand what is the price for playing good tennis. You have to get to the ball so that you hit it in your strike zone. Only then you can play good tennis. It is important that you know that you must have the ability to improvise too. So we try to get in the ideal position and hit the ball in our ideal strike zone when we can, but sometimes we really cannot. Even if we're not lazy, even if we try everything we can, sometimes we cannot get to the ball. So we must be able to improvise our strokes and hit the ball with some control even outside of our strike zone. So if I get the ball away from me and I really can't get it, then I must be able to somehow control that ball. Or if the ball is really high and I get out of my strike zone, I still must have enough feel and control to get it in the court. Or maybe the ball will come fast to me and I can't get in a position, I still need to find a way to put it over and direct it somewhere. So just giving you this message that you don't feel terribly bad if you don't hit the ball in your strike zone. You must be able to improvise. But again, my message today is that you should try and get in the right position. So again, if you don't pay attention to it and in your mind, the only task you give yourself is, I need to reach the ball, then you will reach the ball like this and like this, like this, because our arm can move all over the place and reach the ball. But what you need to look for is, you need to have another question in your mind, and the question must be, I want to reach the ball in my ideal strike zone, I want to be well balanced, and I want to feel good weight transfer into the ball. That's what I'm looking for. So when I'm receiving a ball, I want to get in a position where I feel good balance, the ball is somewhere in my strike zone. That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking just to reach the ball, I'm looking to get to the ball and feel very stable, very balanced, and hit the ball at the right height and at the right distance. And when that happens, I will hit a good shot very effortlessly. So the main problem in hitting the ball in your strike zone or not is that you learn to adjust with your arm. Because you can reach all over the place with your arm and you conserve energy, you can hit the ball here, or you can hit the ball here or here, so you are adjusting with your arm. And when you do that, you're not hitting the ball in your strike zone. So you need to learn to adjust with your feet. But first I'm going to ask David to demonstrate again what does it look like when you try to adjust only with your arms. So if the ball's away like this, so David reached the ball, but you can see him stretching and leaning. So he's not really hitting in his ideal strike zone, the ball is too far. Or if I give him like a high ball, he's hitting the ball too close to him, above his shoulders. So again, he's not hitting the ball in his strike zone. So assuming that there's a player and they don't understand, they are so used to adjusting with their arms, how do we teach them to adjust with their feet? So I'm going to show you one very effective drill. So I'm going to ask David to put the racket at his hip like this. And all I want him to do is to find the ball, so just touch it. So when I throw the ball like this, he cannot cheat. So I can throw the ball like this. And now he is learning to adjust with his feet because he has no space to maneuver. So if I give him a high ball, he has to find the right distance. I give him a ball like this. Yes, he needs to keep adjusting with his feet. So with this exercise, we can start to teach the players how to position so that they hit the ball in their ideal strike zone. So again, this is an exaggeration, but what we are doing is we're training the mind to send signals to the legs and not to the arms when the ball starts to fly, because the first thing you need to do when the ball starts to fly is you need to find it with your feet rather than find the ball with your hand or your arm or your racket. So after a few repetitions like that, we try one or two more, David, here, right? So you feel okay, now I'm moving to the ball, or this way, or you're moving to the ball, very good. One here. You feel that your legs are active, now you can hit with your normal forehand, and you try, yes, very good. You try to feel very similar, that your feet are active and that you're getting in a position. So when we do that, the player will feel that now they're moving better, they're reacting better, they're hitting the ball in their strike zone, and hopefully they will feel the difference. And why it's so important to hit the ball in the strike zone, because only then can we hit effortlessly with good control.